What if people seeking asylum in the UK had to start paying for some of their accommodation and living costs? Well, that's exactly what the UK government has just announced. But who will have to pay? How much will they pay? And will this change affect all asylum seekers? Under the new plan, asylum seekers who have savings or other financial resources will have to make a contribution towards their accommodation and living support while they wait for a decision on their asylum claim. At the moment, many asylum seekers receive accommodation and basic support from the government because they are not allowed to support themselves in the same way as other people. Now, the government says that if someone has enough money, they should help pay for some of these costs. The contribution will be a fixed amount. This means people who qualify will pay a set sum rather than an amount that changes every month. This new rule does not apply to everyone. The government says it is aimed only at asylum seekers who can afford to contribute. For example, if someone has savings or access to money, they may be asked to pay. But if a person has little or no money, their support will continue as normal. The government says there are two main reasons. The first reason is fairness. Ministers believe that if someone has money available to them, it is reasonable for them to contribute towards their accommodation and living costs instead of relying completely on public funds. The second reason is money. The UK's asylum system costs billions of pounds each year. Housing, food, support services, and processing claims all require significant spending. The government says asking those who can afford it to contribute could help reduce some of these costs and ease the pressure on taxpayers. Let's imagine two different situations. Person A arrives in the UK and has no savings and no financial support. Under the new rules, this person would continue receiving accommodation and support as normal. Person B arrives and has savings or access to money. Under the government's plan, this person may have to pay a fixed amount towards the cost of their accommodation and support. The idea is simple. Those who can afford to contribute may be asked to do so. This announcement matters because it changes how some asylum support is provided in the UK. For taxpayers, the government says it could mean lower costs because some asylum seekers would help pay for their own support. For asylum seekers who have money, it could mean additional financial responsibilities while they wait for a decision on their application. And for the wider immigration system, the government believes this is one step towards creating what it describes as a fairer and more balanced system. The asylum system has been one of the biggest political issues in the UK in recent years. There have been concerns about rising costs, long waiting times, and pressure on public services. Governments from different political parties have promised to reform the system and make it work better. This latest announcement is another attempt to change the way the system operates. Supporters of the plan say it is fair because people with money should help cover some of their costs. Others may question how the rules will be applied and whether they could create extra challenges for some asylum seekers. As more details are released, there will likely be more debate about how the policy works in practice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.